I don't think Bill realizes he's on mute. Is he trying to talk to us? There we go.
Okay, sorry for the technical issues there. Welcome to the May 12th regular board meeting of the Cicero Town Board. The exits are in the my right and to the rear of the building for those who are here in the room. Here in person this evening, we have Wayne Freeman, Gretchen Walter, Tracy Councilman, Elka Johans, and Judy Boyke. Electronically, we have Teresa Roth, Mike Maurizio, Kate Fiorello, Nicole Walsh, Neil Germain, Steve Roturno, Steve Procopio, Nancy White, Jonathan Karp, and Mike Bacallo. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Here. Counselor Cart.
Here.
Counselor White.
Here.
Counselor Bacallo.
Here.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. First item on the agenda, Elko, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To
the
the
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to offer a moment of silence for those in the service industries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Nancy.
Approval of abstracts. Resolved, the Cicero Town Board approves abstract number 17 dated April 28th, 2021, and 18 dated May 5th, 2021.
Second.
Second, Mr. Carp. Discussion on number 2. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke.
Yes.
Counselor Cart.
Yes.
Counselor White.
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo.
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Next item, informational item on trash. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, the Onondaga County Resource Recovery Agency has a great pamphlet and a great website, especially on the recycling items. So if any of the residents aren't familiar with it, please go to that site. It also has some great handouts, so please use those. Another item that people are starting to, well, they have for the last couple of years, using more services like Amazon, which means that blue bin is getting filled up very quickly. So a lot of people are getting the large totes instead of the blue bins. Please help our trash people. They have stickers like this. They can go on that large gray or black tote that's at the road, so they know which one is the recycle and which one is regular trash. So again, these are free items. You can pick them up either in my office or contact Okra, and so that the trash people get the right trash to pick up. Next item, hours. When the trash people come, they don't have a defined hour. So they may come early, 6 o'clock in the morning. They may not get there until 2 or 3 o'clock. I mean, vehicles break down, things happen. So please have your trash out first thing in the morning, and then things will be taken care of. So again, a couple of brief informational items. Next item on the agenda, Judy, number 4.
Brewerton wastewater treatment plant service area, sewer improvements, contract number 4. Whereas the town advertised for bids for the consolidated sewer district, Brewerton WWTP service area sewer improvements, contract number 4. And whereas the bid responses were due and publicly read on April 29th, 2021. And whereas Ramboll duly canvassed the bid responses received and is satisfied with the low bid of $458,600 submitted by J.J. Lane Construction, Inc. Now therefore be it resolved, the town of Cicero awards Consolidated Sewer District Brewerton WWTP Service Area Sewer Improvements, contract number 4 to J.J. Lane Construction, Inc. for $458,600. Budget code SS69894 BWTP.
Second, Counselor Bacallo.
Discussion on number 4. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Yes.
Counselor Baccalo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Nancy?
Commend Maddie Alcock for her fast action to perform CPR on a child under her care. Whereas Maddie Alcock is a 16-year-old resident of the town of Cicero, was a babysitter trained in cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And whereas Maddie Alcock has been babysitting for children for approximately 2 years. And whereas on March 20th, 2021, Maddie Alcock was babysitting for Lila, 2 years old, and Sonny Jude, 6 months old, when Sonny Jude began crying inconsolably and stopped breathing. And whereas Maddie Alcock allowed her instincts and training to guide her to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation on the infant Sonny Jude. And whereas Maddie Alcock was able to assist Sonny Jude to regain consciousness and then call 911 for further assistance. And whereas Maddie Alcock then gathered Sonny Jude and his sleeping sister Lila and took them to the apartment building lobby to wait for the first responders to arrive. And whereas due to Maddie Alcock's quick thinking and training, she saved the life of the infant Sonny Jude. Now therefore be it resolved, the Cicero Town Board by signature of its Supervisor William Meyer recognized Maddie Alcock to be an outstanding citizen in the town of Cicero. Maddie and her
Second. Oh, sorry.
sorry. Maddie and her mom are here with us. If anyone has anything to say. I heard about her story a couple of weeks ago and found out then that she's very kind of involved in the community in a couple of different ways. She was down at the county legislature a couple of weeks ago with service dogs. And I just thought it was a really great story that one of our young people was able to take the initiative, take care of this infant, had the wherewithal to do the CPR, then to call 911. I was just very impressed with her, and I thought we should recognize her for the town. If anybody else has anything to say.
I'd like to respond as well. Being a babysitter and having the responsibility that comes along with being a babysitter, obviously in today's time, that having that type of education obviously is one of the very most important things for babysitters of this day. So congratulations, and their family, I'm sure, is blessed to have you as their sitter.
Would our special guest like to say something here for us at the board meeting?
What do you say? She's very shy.
Well, because I think,
Learn CPR.
Ms. White, would you like to lead the applause and for the recognition for the special guest?
If I could just ask her, where did you learn CPR before you started babysitting?
Through my high school first aid class.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, we're all very proud of you. So thank you very much for what you did for the child. And thank you for coming in with us and enduring our meeting.
Would the clerk like to call the roll, please?
We didn't second it.
Baccalo,
Mr. Bacallo?
I'll second it. I don't know if I got, sorry, Nancy.
Yeah.
I feel like I cut you off, so I apologize for that. Yep.
Yeah.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Baccalo,
Awesome job, Maddie. Aye.
and Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Jonathan, number 6.
You're muted.
John, you're muted.
You're muted.
My favorite 2020 phrase. You're muted.
No, I'm not going to miss this when we go back to in-person meetings. Whereas the town of Cicero is currently reaching the end of the 60-month lease period for the mail machine whereas the Cicero tax office, who processes all the mail for the town of Cicero, received 3 quotes for a new machine lease for the 60-month period. And whereas Pitney Bowes provided the most comprehensive quote at $313.84 a month for 60 months to be billed quarterly at $941.52. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the town board approves the 60-month mail machine lease agreement with Pitney Bowes and authorizes the supervisor to sign the agreement. Budget code A16704.
Second, Counselor Bacallo.
discussion on number 6? Clerk will call the roll.
Lickey,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Number 7, approve hiring of seasonal staff members for the Parks Department, whereas the Parks and Recreation Department has a need to fill part-time seasonal summer positions. Now therefore be resolved, the town board approves the following employees that was on attachment for the staff listing. Any second?
I'll
Second, Counselor Bicallo.
Judy got there first, Mike.
I gave everyone a chance. I
I
waited.
know, you had a good moment there. Discussion on number 7. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Lickey,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Kate, would you like to talk about MS4?
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Waiting, Kate, waiting. I love MS4.
Anyways, I'm going to attempt to share my screen as I give the annual report presentation. So I'm hoping I just hit this button, share screen, that whoever the heck gives me right. So host disabled participant screen sharing. So could someone give me rights, please? Try again. Wayne, are you out there?
Yes, he's here.
Or is it Mike who controls that?
Wayne is working on it.
Okay.
I have a copy of it if you need it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're going off Wayne's screen. But anyway, so this is just the annual report presentation for the MS4. So basically an MS4, if we go to the next one, thank you, is a municipal separate storm sewer system. And because the town has a separate storm sewer system in an urbanized area, we must follow the conditions of the New York State DEC MS4 permit. And this permit is derived from the Clean Water Act. So there are 6 minimum control measures, which as an MS4, we must report on to demonstrate our compliance with the permit. So I'm going to briefly go through each of those measures. So if we could go to the next one, please. So the first measure is public outreach and education. So basically it's so we all realize why this is important, that our actions impact our environment. So in the town of Cicero, we have 4 subwatersheds. So the north part of the town is directly into Oneida Lake. The east part, Cicero Swamp area, goes into Chittenango Creek. The Oneida River, the west part of the town goes into Mud Creek, which goes into the Oneida River. And we have a small part of the town, the southern part of the town, that goes into the Onondaga Lake watershed. And this is significant in that development in this watershed must adhere to more stringent design standards for stormwater mitigation. But ultimately, all of these subwatersheds go into the Oswego River and into Lake Ontario. So basically, we are a member of the CNY Stormwater Coalition, along with 29 other municipalities. So the Stormwater Coalition maintains a stormwater website with a lot of pertinent, relevant information on stormwater, and that's on the Central New York Regional Planning Board's website. They provide a post standard insert every year, and they provide quarterly electronic newsletters called Gardens and Gutters, and we in turn post those to our website. Okay, to the next measure is public involvement and participation. So the Stormwater Coalition did provide a stormwater public survey. We posted it on our website. They will do it again in 2025, and that was just to gauge everybody's knowledge of the impacts of stormwater. Unfortunately, 2020 Earth Day events were unable to take place because of COVID-19 restrictions. But the town, this presentation, and as well as the town posting the annual report on the town website, is part of the public involvement and participation measure. On to the next one. So the next one is illicit discharge detection and elimination. So basically, this is making sure that the wrong stuff isn't going into our storm sewer system. So if oil or gas or sewage were to go into our stormwater system, if it doesn't muck up the system, it will eventually get into one of our water bodies. So the Onondaga County Soil and Water Conservation District does these inspections for us through Department of Water Environment Protection. This past reporting period, they investigated 39 of our outfalls, found no illicit discharges. We do have more than 163 outfalls, but that's all that we have mapped. So we were working on getting more mapped. And also every time we're out in the field, we're always looking for illicit discharges. And anytime Highway Department, Codes Department, Parks Department goes out, we will look for things like that if we're in that type of area. So on to the next one. Next one is construction site stormwater runoff control. So any project that disturbs greater than 1 acre of land requires a stormwater pollution prevention plan, and that's called a SWIP. So SWIPs are reviewed during the planning board process. SWIPs may be viewed on request at the zoning and planning department. This past reporting period, we had 9 SWIPs reviewed, and we had 5 active construction projects in the town. And it may seem deceiving that there was more going on, but this only measures things that disturb greater than 1 acre. Okay, on to the 5th one. So post-construction stormwater management. So as a town, we own many stormwater facilities, 25 wet ponds, a wetland, 22 detention ponds, and many, many open channels. So this is by far our biggest challenge, is keeping these maintained. So we're starting to inventory the open channels as we are doing improvements on them. In the last 2 years, we had maintenance provided on 5 open channels, so have added them to our inventory. We also have, there are 61 private stormwater facilities in the town, but maintenance responsibilities fall on property and business owners. The town has the right to inspect and request maintenance on these facilities, which we have on occasion done, requested. And then on to the last one. Minimum control measure 6 is stormwater management for municipal operations. And that's basically how we as town employees are meeting the conditions of the permit. So one is the good housekeeping aspect, and that's really taken care of by our highway department and parks department. And they report 340 miles of streets swept, 350 catch basins cleaned. No phosphorus or nitrogen was applied in any chemical fertilizer, and pesticide and herbicide was applied to 1.3 acres of parkland. So this is really so everyone's cognizant of what they're putting down. Training also falls under this category. We were able to sneak in 1 training at the highway garage earlier this year, provided by Cornell Local Roads Program. Training last year was very difficult due to COVID-19 restrictions, so we're hoping to get some more internal training done this next reporting period. And that concludes my presentation, if anybody has any questions.
Any question from the board members? Okay, thank you very much. Next item, discussion and public input. I have no items, and I have no emails or items from the public. So the clerk is raising her hand here, so.
I just have to announce the 2020 annual financial report for the town of Cicero has been completed and is on file for public view in the Cicero Town Clerk's office and on the Cicero Town website at www.ciceronewyork.net.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next regular meeting is the 26th. Do I have any items from the board members for discussion items? Hearing none, I'll move to adjourn. Again, the next regular meeting is the 26th. I'll call for,
I'll second.
got a second, a voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.